Hello everyone. Welcome to the class of Complex Analysis, Probability and Statistical Methods 18 MAT 41. Today I'll be discussing a topic in Module 5, Sampling Theory, and the topic that I'm going to discuss is Students' T Distribution. Myself, Dr. Madhura, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, Sai Vidya Institute of Technology, Bengaluru. So under students T, we have for a single sample and for two samples. So first we will discuss students T test for a sample mean. Students T for a sample mean is given by T equal to x bar minus mu divided by S into square root of n, where n is the sample size, mu is the mean of the population, x bar is the mean of the sample given by sum of all x values divided by n. S is the standard deviation of the sample given by S square is 1 by n minus 1 into summation x square minus 1 by n into sum of all x whole square. So S square can be easily obtained, the variance value, which is given by 1 divided by n minus 1 summation x square. We sum up all the square values of the x given in the data minus sum of all x whole square divided by n, which gives us the variance s square, and taking square root of the variance gives us the standard deviation s. Note that degrees of freedom is the number of values generated by a sample of small size for estimating a population parameter. So while doing problems for a specific degrees of freedom, we will be evaluating the student T, and student T calculated value of T will be compared with the table value of T for a particular degrees of freedom. And that degrees of freedom is nothing but the number of values generated by a sample of small size for estimating a population parameter. For a single sample of size n, degrees of freedom is given by nu is equal to n minus 1. Now we will discuss for the test of significance of difference between sample means. So suppose we consider two samples, we assume that the significance of difference between the sample means is not there, and we are going to do problems based on this. T is given by x bar minus y bar divided by s into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. So students T distribution is given by this formula, where n1 and n2 are the sample sizes, x bar and y bar are the mean of the two samples, and s is the standard deviation of the sample, and which is given by variance s square is equal to 1 divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2 multiplied by summation x square minus sum of all x whole square divided by n1 plus summation y square minus sum of all y whole square divided by n2. The formula is similar to single sample, but here it is summation x square minus sum of all x whole square divided by n1 for the first sample, and for the second sample summation y square minus sum of all y whole square divided by n2. With this variance s square, we can easily obtain s, the standard deviation of the sample. And sometimes s will be the value, s square will be n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2, wherein s1, s2 are given directly for us, which are the standard deviations of the two samples. So suppose the set of data of x and y is mentioned for us, then s square will be obtained with the first of the formula what we wrote. If the standard deviations of the two samples are directly given for us, that is s1 and s2, then s square can be easily obtained by this formula, n1 s1 square plus n2 s2 square divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2. Note, For two samples of sizes n1, n2, degrees of freedom is given by nu equal to n1 plus n2 minus 2. For a single sample, degrees of freedom nu is equal to n minus 1. And for two samples n1 and n2 given for us, degrees of freedom are obtained by nu is equal to n1 plus n2 minus 2. If the calculated value of t is less than the table value, we accept the null hypothesis, otherwise we reject it. So this is similar, the conclusion is similar to the z-test what we had already discussed with. So if the calculated value of t is less than the table value of t, then we accept the hypothesis, otherwise we reject the hypothesis. So with these basics of student t distribution for a single sample and for a double sample, we can now proceed to do problems. Now let us see problems on t-test. First question, 10 individuals are chosen at random from a population and their heights in inches are found to be 63, 63, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 70, 71, 71. Test the hypothesis that the mean height of the universe is 66 inches. So from the data, we can analyze these things. N equal to 10. So 10 individuals are considered and their heights in inches are mentioned for us, which are 63, 63, etc. up to 71. Then we have to test the hypothesis that the mean height of the universe is 66 inches. So mean mu is equal to 66 we have to take and test whether the hypothesis is accepted or rejected at 5% level of significance. Because t is 0.05 is given for us, which is 2.262 for 9 degrees of freedom. Since n equal to 10, degrees of freedom nu is equal to n minus 1. So that is why we are writing down for 9 degrees of freedom, what is the value of t? 0.05. Now let us see the solution. So by data, n is equal to 10 and we are assuming the hypothesis H0 as mean height of the universe is 66 inches. Mean height of the universe is 66 inches. And this is one and the same as writing mean mu is equal to 66. Now let us calculate x bar. X bar gives us the mean of all the individual heights given for us. That is sum of all x values divided by n. So let us sum it up. So we have 63 plus 63, then 66, 67, 68, 69, 70 two times, and then 71 two times. The entire value divided by n is equal to 10. So the mean value x bar is equal to, this is mean of the sample taken. So x bar is equal to 678 divided by 10. And that gives us 67.8. Right. So once we know x bar, now we can calculate s square and hence find the value of s, so that all these values can be substituted into the formula for student t. And before I could forget, remember, since n is less than or equal to 30, we are applying t-test. So student t distribution is applicable because n is less than or equal to 30. If n is greater than 30, we apply z-test. For large samples, we apply z-test. So now let us find out s square. So S square is given by 1 divided by n minus 1 into summation x square minus 1 by n into sum of all x whole square. So 1 divided by 9 into summation x square means we have to sum up performing 63 square plus 63 square etc. up to the last value square. That is 71 square minus 1 by 10 of sum of all x whole divided by n. Sum of all x whole square we have to perform. Just now we saw sum of all x values gives us 678. So 678 whole square divided by 10. Sum of all x whole square divided by 10. So this on simplification gives us s square is equal to 9.067 or s is equal to 3.011. Taking square root, we can obtain the standard deviation of the sample denoted by s. Thus, the student t is given by t is equal to formula x bar minus mu the whole divided by s into square root of n. X bar is 67.8 and we are assumed mu as 66. The whole divided by s is 3.011 into square root of 10. N is equal to 10 we have taken. 10 individual heights were given, no? So n equal to 10. Now we can just use a calculator to evaluate this. So t is equal to 1.89 approximately. And we observe that this is less than t 0.05 which was given in the data 2.262 for 9 degrees of freedom. Since n is equal to 10, nu is equal to degrees of freedom which is n minus 1. So for 9 degrees of freedom we had to compare with. So T 0.05 is 2.262 and we observe that the calculated value of T is less than the table value of T. And hence the hypothesis is accepted at 5% level of significance. Hence the hypothesis is accepted at 5% level of significance. Since t value at 0.05 was given for us, we are comparing with 5% level of significance. Hence the solution. So the calculated value of t that we obtained here was 1.89. Now we will discuss the second question. A mechanist is making engine parts with axle diameter of 0.7 inch. A random sample of 10 parts shows mean diameter 0.742 inch with a standard deviation of 0.04 inch. On the basis of the sample, would you say that the work is inferior? Now from the data, the mean mu is 0.7 because a mechanist making engine parts having diameter of 0.7 inch. So mean mu is equal to 0.7. And when we collect a sample of 10 parts, so n is equal to 10, it shows the mean diameter. It shows the mean diameter of 0.742 inch. So x bar is equal to 0.742 and the standard deviation is 0.04. So S is equal to 0.04. So all the required data to apply a t-test is given for us. And let us also write down for 9 degrees of freedom. For 9 degrees of freedom from the data, again we can write down this. T 0.05 is equal to 2.262 for 9 degrees of freedom. So Since n is equal to 10, for n minus 1, that is 9 degrees of freedom, we are calculating t 0.05, comparing with the table value at 5% level of significance. We'll be working out the problem. So let us assume the hypothesis H naught as there is no significant difference between x bar and mu. Solution. Let us assume H naught there is no significant difference between x bar and mu. So this is one and the same as saying that the product is not inferior. The product is not inferior, or it is one and the same as assuming that the product is superior of a good quality one. So now to apply student T, before that we can analyze the data and write down all the known values. So mu is given as 0.7, x bar is equal to 0.742 and n is equal to 10. S, the standard deviation of the sample is 0.04. So with all these, we will now calculate the student T. Of course, again it is student T distribution because n is less than or equal to 30. So T is given by x bar minus mu divided by S into square root of n. X bar is 0.742 minus 7 minus 0.7 minus 0.7, the whole divided by S is equal to 0.04 multiplied by root of 10. So this gives us the student T value is equal to 3.32. And on comparing with T 0.05, the calculated value of T is greater than the table value of T. T, by calculation of all the values substitution, by calculation we got it as 3.32. So the calculated value of T is greater than the table value of T at 5% level of significance. Therefore, H naught is rejected. Therefore, H naught is rejected. That is, there is a significant difference. There is a significant difference between x bar and mu. And that is one and the same as saying the work is inferior. The work is inferior. Hence the solution for us. So the work we had assumed it is not inferior, and that is the meaning of saying no significant difference between x bar and mu. With that we assumed the hypothesis and we started evaluation, or the calculation gave us 3.32. So calculated value was greater than the table value at 5% level of significance. Hence the hypothesis is rejected, which is one and the same as saying there is a significant difference between the x bar and mu. The two means x bar and mu, and hence the work is inferior. We'll discuss the third problem now. A certain stimulus administered to each of the 12 patients resulted in the following change in blood pressure: 528 minus 130, 6 minus 21, 504. Can it be concluded that the stimulus will increase the blood pressure? And given T value at 5% level of significance is 2.201 for 11 degrees of freedom. So from the analyzation of the data, we can say that n equal to 12 patients are, blood pressure changes are mentioned for us. And these values can be assumed as x values. So we can easily find out x bar, sum of all x values divided by n. And we have to assume the hypothesis H naught as the stimulus administration is not accompanied with increase in the blood pressure. Then only we can assume the mean value mu is equal to 0. So we can now obtain the solution. So a certain stimulus administration to each of the 12 patients. So something is injected to the body which makes some reaction in the tissue or organ. So that we are assuming that this is not increasing the blood pressure. So very firstly, let us write down H naught. The stimulus administration is not accompanied with increase in the blood pressure. Then we can assume mean mu is equal to 0. That is mean of the population, mu equal to 0. This can be assumed only when we take that there is no increase in the blood pressure. So the stimulus, whatever that has been administered to the organ or tissue, is not accompanied with any increase in the blood pressure. Implies as that mu is equal to 0. And now by data we have n equal to 12. So let us find out x bar. So sum of all x values divided by n. Sum of all x values gives us 31 divided by 12. So sum of all x values is 31, n equal to 12, and hence x bar is equal to 2.5833. Now we know x bar, the mean of the sample, and we know n value 12, mean mu is equal to 0, and now we have to find out s square. With that, the standard deviation of the sample s can be obtained. So s square is given by 1 divided by n minus 1 multiplied by summation x square minus 1 divided by n into sum of all x whole square. So 1 divided by 11 multiplied by summation x square means we have to perform 5 square plus 2 square etc. up to the last value we have to add up. That is 4 square minus 1 divided by 12 into sum of all x value, just now we obtained 31 whole square. So this on simplification gives us s square is equal to 9.538, or square root of this gives us the standard deviation 3.088. And this helps us to now find out the student T, that is given by x bar minus mu divided by s multiplied by square root of n. X bar is 2.5833 minus mu is assumed as 0, the whole divided by 3.088 into square root of 12. Square root of n is equal to 12 here. So this on evaluation gives us t value is equal to 2.8979, or which is approximately 2.9, and obviously greater than t 0.05, which is given from the data 2.201 for 11 degrees of freedom. So since the calculated value of t, this is the calculated value of t for us, since the calculated value of t is greater than the table value of t, we reject the hypothesis. Therefore, H naught is rejected at 5% level of significance. H naught means the null hypothesis assumption, whatever we made, is rejected. And that is one and the same as saying the stimulus will increase the blood pressure. The stimulus will increase the blood pressure. And hence the solution for us. So these three problems that we worked out were based on single sample, that is having a single sample mean, and that's a student t distribution for us. Now next set of problems we can discuss on two samples given for us. We'll consider the fourth question now. Two horses A and B were tested according to the time in seconds to run a particular race with the following results. Horse A having the values 28, 30, 32, 33, 33, 29 and 34. Horse B 29, 30, 30, 24, 27, 29. Test whether you can discriminate between the two horses. And we are asked to do this student t value at 5% level of significance, which is 2.2 for 11 degrees of freedom. So firstly, let us observe that assuming x and y respectively corresponding to horse A and horse B, N1 is given as 7 and N2 is given as 6. N1 is equal to 7, N2 is equal to 6. So N1 plus N2 minus 2 gives us the degrees of freedom. N1 is 7, N2 is 6. So N1 plus N2 is 13 minus 2. That is 11. So that is why for 11 degrees of freedom, we are given the t value at 5% level of significance we are given. So let us assume H naught first, that there is no significant difference between the two horses. So let us assume first H naught. There is no significant difference between the two horses. And let us assume x and y respectively correspond to, assume respectively x and y corresponds to horse A and B. Horse A and horse B respectively are corresponding to x and y. So let us now find out the sum of all x values and divided by n1. Right. So we have x bar is equal to sum up of all x values divided by n1, which gives us 219 divided by 7. And 219 divided by 7 is equal to approximately 31.3. Similarly, y bar is equal to sum up of all y values divided by n2. Sum up of all y values is 169 divided by 6, which gives us approximately 28.2. Therefore, now we will find out S square. The formula is 1 divided by n1 plus n2 minus 2 multiplied by summation x square minus sum of all x whole square divided by n1 plus summation y square minus sum of all y whole square divided by n2. So substituting all the known values, n1 and n2 respectively from the given data are 7 and 6. So 7 plus 6 minus 2 multiplied by summation x square means you have to square the terms 28 square, 30 square, etc. up to 34 square minus sum up of all x value we saw here 219 whole square divided by n1 is 7. Similarly, summation y square means it is 29 square plus 30 square etc. up to the last value of y, that is for horse B, 29 square. Right, here in the first bracket it should have been 34 square and then the closing bracket would have been there. Let me just correct it. Yes, so this should have been 34 square and then I need to close the bracket, right? Minus summation y whole square. Summation y is 169 whole square divided by 6. N2 is 6. So we can just evaluate this using a calculator. So 5.2973 and square root gives us the answer for S, which is 2.3016. Now we know the value of S, we know the value of N1, N2 already, X bar, Y bar. All that we are going to substitute in the student T formula for two samples. So therefore T is given by X bar minus Y bar, the whole divided by S into square root of 1 divided by N1 plus 1 divided by N2. X bar is 31.3 minus Y bar is 28.2. The whole divided by S, just now we obtained 2.3016 multiplied by 1 by 7 plus 1 by 6. 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. So on evaluation, we get T equal to 2.42 and 2.42 is a value greater than T 0.05 which was given in the data, which is 2.2 for 11 degrees of freedom. It is 11 degrees of freedom because N1 plus N2 minus 2 gives us degrees of freedom for two samples. So T, calculated value of T is 2.42. So we observed 2.42 is greater than the table value of T. Hence, H0 is rejected. H0 is rejected. That is, there is a significant difference between the two horses. There is a significant difference between the two horses. The discrimination between the horses is significant at 5% level of significance. It's one and the same as saying the discrimination between the horses is significant at 5% level of significance. Hence the solution. Let us see one last problem on students T for two samples. 11 students were given a test in statistics. They were given a month's further tuition and second test of equal difficulty was held at the end of it. Do the marks give evidence that the students have benefited by extra coaching? Means, is there a significant difference between the means of the two test marks we have to obtain? So given t-value at 5% level of significance is 2.086 for 20 degrees of freedom. Here the 11 boys are considered, boy 1, boy 2, like that, etc. up to boy 11 they have mentioned. And first test marks they have given for each of the boys. And after extra tuition was given for them, another test was conducted whose marks are respectively of all those respective 11 boys are also given for us. So let us first assume the first test marks as X and the second test marks as Y. And we assume the hypothesis H0 as there is no significant difference between the means of the two test marks, and which is one and the same as saying the students have not benefited by extra coaching. So now in the solution, we'll write down, assume H0, there is no significant difference, there is no significant difference between the means of the test marks, between the means of the test marks. And this is one and the same as saying the students have not benefited by extra coaching. The students have not benefited by extra coaching. So in the data, we saw that given data said that there are two test marks mentioned for us for each of the boys 1 to 11. So after the first test, an extra coaching or the tuition was given for the students, and another test of equal difficulty was given, and their marks are being mentioned for us. So now the test or the hypothesis says that the students have been benefited by extra coaching or not. So when I assume that there is no significant difference between the means of the test marks, then it is one and the same as assuming the students have not been benefited by extra coaching. So with this, we will now find out the relevant things required for applying the t-test. So I'll assume first X and Y respectively for first test marks and the second test marks. So let X and Y respectively denote the first test and the second test marks. So let us find out X bar. X bar will be sum of all X divided by N, summation X divided by N. So first let us sum up all the values of X from the table. So X is for first test marks and Y is for second test marks. When we sum up all the X values, 23 plus 20 plus 19 plus 21, etc., up to the end, the summation is equal to 214 divided by N is equal to 11. And this should have been N1 because we'll consider for each set separately. Number of boys here is N1. N1 is equal to N2 equal to N in this case. And this on simplification gives us 19.45. Similarly, Y bar we will evaluate, which is sum of all Y values divided by N2. Sum of all Y values, that is second test marks, will be 225 divided by 11, and this will fetch us 40.45. Now we will find out S square. So S square is equal to 1 divided by N1 plus N2 minus 2 multiplied by summation X square minus sum of all X whole square divided by N1 sum of all x whole square divided by n1 plus summation y square minus sum of all y whole square divided by n2. So let us first obtain the s square value and hence the s value. So s square will be equal to 1 divided by n1 is also 11, n2 is also 11, 11 plus 11, 22 minus 2 multiplied by summation x square means it should be 23 square plus 20 square etc. up to the last value, that is 19 square. This I am talking about first test marks, minus summation x the whole square. Summation x we saw it is 214 whole square divided by n1. So 214 the whole square divided by n1 is 11. And similarly, let us not close the bracket here. Continuation, summation y square. Sum of all y values. Y is second test marks. 24 square, 19 square, etc. up to 17 square we have to perform. So 24 square plus 19 square, etc. up to 17 square last term. Minus sum of all y value is 225. So 225 whole square, 225 whole square divided by 11. Now let us evaluate this. With the help of a calculator, we can obtain s square is equal to 4.7728, and this implies s is equal to, taking square root, 2.1847. Now we know S, we know N1, N2 from the data. We have already obtained X bar and Y bar. So we can apply the student's T. So thus, student's T is given by, for two samples, X bar minus Y bar divided by S into square root of 1 by N1 plus 1 by N2. And that gives us X bar is 19.45 minus y bar is 20.45. We get a negative value, so we can take modulus of t. 2.1847 is the value of s into square root of 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Here both n1 and n2 are equal to n, which is equal to 11. So evaluating this, square root of or modulus of t is equal to 1.0735. 1.0735. This we compare with the given t value. We were asked to obtain or compare it with 5% level of significance. So it was given t 0.05 to 2.086 for 20 degrees of freedom. For 20 degrees of freedom it was mentioned for us. 20 because n1 is 11, n2 is 11. So n1 plus n2 minus 2 gives us the degrees of freedom for two samples. So that is why for 20 degrees of freedom, 5% level of significance t value is 2.086. So we are comparing it with 2.086. So this is obviously less than t 0.05, which is 2.086. And this is given for 20 degrees of freedom for us. So thus the calculated value of t is less than the table value of t, hence the hypothesis is accepted at 5% level of significance. So H0 is accepted at 5% level of significance. Now H0 is accepted means it is one and the same as saying there is no significant difference between the means of the test marks. There is no significant difference between the means of the test marks was our assumption H0. So that is accepted. And that is one and the same as saying the students have not benefited by extra coaching. So that's one and the same as saying the students have not benefited by extra coaching. Hence the solution for us. So hope these problems on t-test for a single sample and for double sample problems are understandable. Thank you for watching.